So this is the Bedtime Path. I mentioned it earlier when we were doing the scenarios, and I think it really works very well for some children. It works better for kids, or it really works well for kids who have some language. And it seems like it works best for kids, in my experience, who are like 4 to 9 years old or 4 to 8 years old. And what it is it's simply a laminated card that you can put in a little holder, and it can be something the child really likes. It could be a teddy bear, it could be a dinosaur, it could be Dora the Explorer, it could be the car, one of the cars, Lightning McQueen from Cars. It can be anything the child really likes. And this is the antithesis of extinction. This is where the child is actually being rewarded for doing something positive as opposed to not rewarded for doing something that you don't want. And what it is it's very simple. It's a little card. It's very much like a token, if you've used a token system. We have a story we've written where the child is given the pass. They're actually, either they construct their own pass or they pick a pass from several choices. And they are told this is a ticket. People need sleep. Sleep helps people feel refreshed and have energy during the day and stay calm. So sleep is important. My parents want to help me get a good night's sleep. They want me to be rested, calm, and do well in school. My parents have made a bedtime pass to help me. They will give me the bedtime pass when I go to bed. It's like a ticket. And then if I need anything, if I need a glass of water, if I need to get out of bed, if I need a second good night hug, I need to trade in the bedtime pass. So I give the bedtime pass to my mom or dad. They give me a hug. They give me a drink of water, whatever. And it's really up to me to choose. I can either surrender the pass and get what I need, or I can decide to hang on to the pass and then not ask for the drink of water, not ask for the extra hug. You know, it's still okay to hug your child before they go to bed. This would just be that extra stuff that takes a long time to get them to go to bed because they keep asking for stuff. Or if they wake up in the middle of the night and they call or they come to your room, they have to give them the pass, and then you bring them back. So the way it works is, and this is a modification. This pass was developed by a pediatrician named Pat Fryman. We put a modification on it, which is basically being able, in the morning, if they don't use the pass, to trade it in for something really special. So the idea is that that really special thing could be, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be a warm blanket from the dryer or a warm towel if the child likes tactile things like that. It could be a wrapped present from the dollar store. It could be a sticker, and then when they get 3 stickers or 6 stickers or whatever, then they can get something really good. But it's not really a bribe. What it is this is very concrete. We know kids with autism love visuals. They love things that are concrete. And then the other thing they really love is control and a sense of control. And the idea is that this allows them to decide. They're in the driver's seat. They can either give in the pass and get the hug or get the glass of water, or they can hang on to it, and then in the morning they can get their presents. So I use this with my son, and I remember he would come into our bedroom and call out like 2 in the morning and say, "Mom, I need this, I need this, I need a hug, I need a glass of water." And he didn't really need any of that, but he needed us. And we had increased the amount of things we did with him during the day and during the evening, and he still really needed it. And what we found was we gave him the pass, and initially, and we gave him the story. Initially, he would still come to our room, and we would take the pass, and we would go back to bed, or he would call out for something, and we'd take the pass, give him what he needed, and say, "We'll try again tomorrow night." Well, one night, we woke up in the morning, and it turned out he hadn't found us during the night. And I said to him, "Daniel, Here's your wrap presents from the dollar store. You can pick out a reward. Why are you getting a reward? And I thought he was going to say, because I did not have to use my bedtime pass. I was able to sleep through the night. And instead he said to me, because I was not scared. And it was really interesting because I think in his mind, he was equating, he was scared, he needed us, but he also knew that he could hold on to this and he could make a choice between needing us and getting us and basically keeping the card and turning it in for a reward. So we gave him the reward, and like 3 days in a row we gave him the reward, and then we just sort of forgot about it, and he forgot about it. Maybe he had all of the stick figures he wanted from the dollar store and he was good, but in any case it just sort of went away and he slept through the night. So it didn't take very long at all, and I felt really good about it as a parent because it really seemed to sit much better with me than punishment of any form, or it was a very nice way to, I felt empowered, he felt empowered. I was really giving him the choice for what to do. And I think that at some level, that was a very beneficial thing for him in his development to be able to make a developmentally appropriate choice about whether he needed to come find us or whether he could just hang on to his pass and trade it in the morning. So that's the bedtime pass. It doesn't work for everyone. It's got to be the right age and the right verbal level, but it does work for a lot of kids. Yes?
What if this kid is waking up more than once?
We've actually experimented with more than one bedtime pass. We've given 2 bedtime passes or 3 bedtime passes. And the idea is there may be multiple times the child is waking up, and it's not realistic to have them not wake up at all. But if we can decrease the number of times they're waking up from 5 a night to 2 a night, then that would be pretty impressive. So maybe we give them 3 bedtime passes, they use up 2, but they don't use up the 3rd. And then we've made significant progress because they've gone from 5 night wakings to 2 night wakings, or 2 bedtime resistance type episodes to 1 bedtime resistance and 2 night wakings, or whatever it is. So yeah, I think experimenting with more than one. The question I thought you were going to ask, so I'll just say it, is what if the child is waking up and is actually awake in their room and not necessarily going back to sleep? It's just that they're not waking you up anymore. And what do you do with that? Because you don't want your child necessarily awake. And the answer I would have there is, if you're not interacting with them, there's a higher likelihood they're going to be able to go back to sleep on their own, particularly if you don't have the iPad in the room or any stimulating toys or things in the room. So number one, it does promote them going back to sleep on their own. And then the second thing is there are kids who are going to wake up and not be able to necessarily go back to sleep. That may be all the sleep they're going to get, all the sleep they're going to need. We don't know that for sure, but sometimes it's what a family needs to do in terms of you getting the rest you need. And this is much more helpful than the child, for example, having to go and find you and waking up the whole household. So it's a tricky thing. I'd like to say that I never say to a parent, let me see if I can restate this. I have tried to increase sleep. I have tried to, parents have come to me and said their child sleeps 6 hours and then they're done. And I've tried to use medicines or other strategies to increase their sleep duration. It's not always successful. And then sometimes we're dealing with, well, rather than the child sleeping from 8 to 2 and then being up, let's have the child go to bed later, let's have them sleep from 10 to 4, and then they have another hour while the parents are getting their last bit of sleep, and then at 5 a.m. everybody gets up. So the bedtime pass can help with that as well. I mentioned the limited verbal skills earlier. This is really helpful. it's one of the toolkits. We had developed, as a sleep committee, we had developed the tools for the bedtime routine and the bedtime path, and we were basically asked by parents of children with limited verbal skills to come up with a tool for them. So we're very proud of this. This is actually the work of my colleague Terry Katz at Colorado, who's one of her special interests is she's a psychologist, is working with children with limited verbal skills. So she's been very successful with photos, with object schedules, with cues in the environment. She'll either put the objects, the real objects, on a wooden board, or she'll make little boxes that the children can go to each box and pick up the object and do the bedtime routine in that way. So they'll start with the roll of toilet paper, the soap, the shampoo, the brush, etc. And then lots of sensory strategies, working in collaboration with our OTs, as was mentioned earlier. There's a lot of options here for rocking, swinging, snuggling, massaging, music, and other things mentioned here. I wanted to mention again our toolkits that are all available on the Autism Speaks Autism Treatment Network website. There's a very long email web web link, or you can just search for Autism Speak Sleep Toolkit, and they'll come right up. And in addition to the child one, we now have the teen one, we have the quick tips, we have these visuals. You should have a lot of the materials, but there's other things out there, like on visual supports. There's a really nice toolkit that you can go and download for free. They're also available in Spanish. Yes?
Do you have copies of the sleep log on this toolkit?
We don't have them yet on Autism Speaks. We'll be uploading those soon, but I think we can make them available to anyone who's here today. You have that, I believe. Yeah, if you don't, let me know. And we'll get those available. So you can get the sleep log through ACT, through ACT. And then I just wanted to talk about the research we've done, because this kind of leads into getting your